like, so getting turned on to punk rock as it were, and then being turned on to you guys just had this thing for like Slade. Never heard Slade. It's the Sweet, the Stooge, MC5, the Stooges, all this other, like I was getting a history lesson and and listening to the most kick-ass fucking music,
Oh,
and
for
then I
sure.
started to understand what kind of how we got to whatever year, 1979 now. Okay, now
Yeah.
we're here. I get it. I've listened to the Beatles and Hendrix and Sly and the Family Stone with my older siblings. Now I'm with my people. I'm listening to this that nobody else knows anything about except for maybe us in the car, which is killer too. Um, and then starting to play, playing with Refuser, and then what turned into the Veins, the three of us, Udding and me and Andy was, starting to play shows and putting out a single. You had the No Threes label. I thought it was so big time. Like Kurt's got his own label, man. And it was big time because I had a No Threes single before I met you. So that, looking at, because you would look at the whole single, right? While you're listening to it and read
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
And
And
so
and we always like things that were kind of mysterious and cool and scary, so you'd always want to put that sort of thing on your own single, just some things that throw people off a little bit and make people think you know it's cool.
and that Accident single you put out too was
Yeah,
that was so good. There was like these singles you would find that nobody else knew anything about. Uh,
yeah.
I found a single. I just like the cover. I found it um, what's my record shop?
Cellophane Square
Cellophane.
lady or
Yeah, Cellophane Square. A band called Trash, and I from who knows where, Massachusetts or something. And I probably maybe the only person who ever bought their single, and then all my friends listened to it. We made, you know, put that on our cassette mixtapes, and you would find these records. And I got, I still have it. The Pink, New York State Police, UK
oh,
Subs,
UK subs for sure.
the
Yeah.
Pink one.
Yeah.
But just cool singles, and then the Germs record, like American punk, besides the Ramones, started to hit. The Southern California thing. D.O.A. they were like my Kiss.
Right,
Really.
right, and they were, totally. They were. As we talked to the other people in these things, it's like, they were sort of them and Black Flag were they were the West Coast.
Yeah.
You know, they they broke down the doors. They just like, hey, we're not taking no for an answer. We're going for this. We're gonna.
Yeah. But D.O.A., I mean, seeing that rhythm section, if you were lucky enough to be able to see Biscuits and
Yeah,
Rampage,
yeah. It was.
there was nothing there. I don't think ever it's going to be anything like that rhythm section.
Yeah.
And when Dave Gregg came in, it was like, oh my fucking
Yeah,
God.
yeah. And we were always worried, like when cool bands, that there was just three piece, just single guitar bands, because everybody, it was such a thing. You had to have more guitar players, and like in the mid '70s, and everybody played their groovy music and stuff like that. We always like bands that had one guitar player because it was always louder. If you have one guitar, the Who or Black Sabbath or whatever, you have one guitar player, it's always and it's like, uh-oh, D.O.A.'s having a second guitar player. Help. And it's like, no, there's nothing to worry about there. They were just absolutely killer with
Yeah.
two guitar players, and one of the bands that did that just fine.
And when Des Cadena went to guitar in Black Flag and Henry came in, that was like suddenly like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah. Because when we saw Black Flag at Hardcore 81,
Yeah.
right?
I was,
With
yep. Did we go
with
together? We probably went together, right?
what's that?
Did we go together? We
Oh,
probably
we must have. I mean, I know we all went up there exactly, probably just all piled into Kim or Lulu's car and drove up there and, stayed at the plaza or the plaza.
yeah.
And, but I think that was the first time that it was Dez, was because he originally was the singer, right?
Mhm.
And then they had Dez switched to guitar, but maybe Dez was just the singer when we
Yes,
saw him at Hardcore 81.
they played Cleveland with Des as the singer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, for sure.
You remember that?
that oh, that was like a mind-boggling punk experience
Yeah,
of all time, seeing Black Flag playing in a living room of a university district house.
yeah,
That was a definitely a game changer. It's like, what did we just hear?
yeah,
It was just like, wow, you never knew that music could, be like that. And you can listen to the records, and we all had that first Black Flag single,
yes.
in Nervous Breakdown and
Have it.
Wasted and whatnot, and we listened to it all the time. But then you actually see that band, in a living room, with the same gear that they would play if they were playing at a hall show or something like
Yeah,
that. And it was just like, okay, I think, that for sure everybody at that show, like, if they weren't already in a band, they were in a band after that.
right. Yeah.
I